Hello and welcome to Monday Night Going In Raw. I'm Etep and right here with you, joined by none other than the Horseman, Vinnie Tartamella, CJP, and Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you here again.
Yo, always good to be here.
Glad to have you. We got
where the white women at?
we'll get to them later.
You're in my pants.
We'll untie them later. JB, Brutal Morningwood, Slasher, McSplitter, Manliness and Motivation. What's going on? Nano Reaper's in the house. See, we mentioned JB. Keely Chow. What's going on, everybody? Adam Shawhan, Superfan, Nelson. What's going on, gents? Good to see everybody. Good to see you guys. We got a great show planned for you this evening. But yeah, let's before we get into that, I want to share something here. We're going to take a look at Vinny's campaign real quick here and let him give you the pitch on this. His most recent, he's got an art book up right now. Go ahead, Vinny.
Hey guys, yeah, dude, yeah, this is the volume 3 art book. This thing is 64 pages. If you want some kick-ass artwork, jump on this one. I even have a sample copy printed, so I mean, it's more facts that this thing is done. You don't have to wait years and years and years. It's literally 50-something days, and then yeah, we go to the printer. So.
But there is a special tier in case you really do like waiting for over 3 years. Vinny has a special tier specifically for you, so you could feel like you were getting from one of the big guys who never fulfilled.
Oh, come on, Vinny! Don't you want to wait in line like all of my EVS sycophants like to do?
I'm humble. It's my honor to make you wait 5 or 6 years for a subpar book with, Google images in the background. Yeah, no. You get your shit right away. And this is loaded with amazing stuff. Beautiful, detailed artwork, pencils, full inks, full color in here as well. It's a good mix of stuff. So my last 2 art books, those things were all full color and all sorts of stuff. But I want to show people some more like my line work and things of that nature. So if you want that extra stuff, it's here. It's about like 50-50 between color images and pencils and stuff. But if we hit some stretch goals, I do want to do like the perfect bound on this one. Right now, I'm kind of keeping it uniform with the other 2 books with the staples in them there, the saddle stitch. But yeah, if we hit those stretch goals, I want to add more pages, and I definitely want to give it a nice perfect bound binding on it. So yeah, if you guys want to help out, please do. Trailer's pretty dope too. Good music. No, you won't get hit for it.
Yep,
so if you do
play that,
you could.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of really great original artwork on this campaign as well. So
all right, let's play this.
hello everyone, this is Vinnie Tartamella, and this is the art of Vinnie Tartamella, Volume 3. This book will be 64 pages. I am the creator of Shadow of the Kraken, creator of City of Venus, Dead City, and co-creator of Through the Woods. And I have a ton of amazing projects. This book is going to be loaded with awesome drawings, sketches, super detailed ink pieces, and full color illustrations. And as a bonus, I'm going to have a sneak peek at City of Venus, Dead City 2 in this book as well. So a couple of awesome pages and panels and things to whet the appetite. I hope you guys will stay tuned for that one. That book is going to be 52 pages. You guys wanted more story, more artwork, so you're going to get it. So thank you so much for all your support. Again, this book will be 64 pages, so bigger than the first 2 volumes. Back this book today. don't forget all my other projects, they ship immediately. So you have an option of 3 other campaigns that everything goes out the door right away. So yeah, get some Christmas gifts for people. Come on, do it. You can do it.
I saw. Thank you, man. And yeah, I made sure I backed that. I've got all Vinny's pieces, all his releases, man. They're fantastic, well constructed, beautiful art, great stories. So yeah, don't miss out on this. I know a lot of people, it's an art. Well, look, it's a lot of people might say it's an art book, but it's an art book, and you see what's inside this motherfucker. You know it's worth it. So yeah, I'm not just saying this because Vinny's my boy. I'm saying this because he puts out a quality fucking product and delivers on time, which in today's economy is very important. So
right,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I did it during lockdowns. I did it during paper shortages and air quotations. Yeah, everyone got their stuff. So hell yeah, man. Thank you, brother.
Oh, dude, you're welcome. You are welcome. And Tony's backstage. I see him back there. So we've got our news, our headlines for the day, which I'll pull up our first one here after we pause for station identification here. So here we are, our first topic. First of all, what's up, Tony? Welcome.
What's going on, everybody?
We're gonna run through our headlines here to start out the night for about the next couple minutes before we will be going over to Rumble, folks. You're gonna want to join us. We got some heavy hitting shit that we cannot even really mention here on YouTube tonight. You see it in the title: Slade, Sohmer arrested. We're gonna talk about that. Plus, Tony brought to my attention the Elon Musk lawsuit against Media Matters. We'll talk about that over on Rumble. But right now we got this woman born in 1997 wonders how anything got done before the internet and millennials. Gen Xers are happily filling in the blanks. How did anything get done before the internet? Well, folks, if you're of a certain age, you know that you had to be resourceful and know how to do actual research to find things,
God forbid somebody actually puts the time in and invests that time to actually look something up or learn how to do something. Oh my God. Like what a chore that is. They have all this information sitting at their fingertips, and even then they still don't know what the hell they're doing. It just baffles me.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pathetic. What's up, Scrambles? What's up, Soul Assassin?
Hey.
Hale.
What up?
Good to see you. Clone Geek. Back in the 1850s, we outsourced our work to slaves. That's
not wrong.
But he's right.
Is it?
Oh, we didn't call them slaves back then. They were just gainfully employed.
Yeah, that was just the help. That was the help.
God forbid they try to run.
Yeah, you're free to go anytime you want, but you can never leave. So yeah,
this is California.
Yeah, it is. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hang on. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. Just play the damn video.
Older people, what did you do before you could look something up? Like, if you saw someone and you were like, "Oh, they remind me of that actor. What was that? What's his name?" Like, and you couldn't, and none of your friends knew. Would you go to a library? Okay, without Google Maps. Like, I know that there was MapQuest, but before that, like, genuinely, what would you do? Would you just accept not knowing? Like, I would please stitch this and tell me, because I genuinely do not understand how I would survive.
Bullshit.
Oh my God. Who wants to start on this one? Wow.
I think this is just someone who is one of those shills, they're getting paid to put out dumb shit because they have a lot of followers. That's what
I don't know though, Vinny. God, my daughter is from that younger generation, and she has a lot of friends that were the exact same way. Like when like hurricane blew through and the power went out for a few weeks, they didn't know what the hell to do with themselves. They'd be losing their minds because they didn't have access to internet and they couldn't figure out how to do something simple like, I don't know, cook macaroni and cheese on the freaking stove. Because God forbid it, they turn the box around and read the instructions that are in the back. That is too difficult for them.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of people like that. You ever notice, like, when you get these places where power goes out for a long time, they always talk about, oh, well, there was a whole bunch of deaths. That's people that are killing themselves because they don't have access to the internet anymore. It really is that bad with these people. God forbid people in the United States, if an EMP was to ever go off, they wouldn't know what to do.
Dude, these people would be toast, bro.
So then what I said, I've been saying for a couple of weeks, months, years now. Pray to baby Jesus for that giant space rock the size of Texas to come. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is really pathetic.
It just speaks to my theory that Gen Z bitches are stupid and they're over here in the corner playing with their Barbies while Gen Z males are watching Star Wars, playing with computers, and getting into video games. That's how women generally are on a generational scope. So of course she doesn't understand. She's out of touch with reality, but Gen Alpha is going to get in touch with reality real quick, including the females, because while millennials and Gen Z are just absolutely destroying society for these people. I mean, look how many Gen Z males are still virgins in their 20s. You can't even approach a woman without getting sued for sexual harassment and all this non-binary crap and lockdowns and keep space. I mean,
I think unfortunately a lot of them aren't virgins, Tony, but they're just not virgins in the wrong way. If you get my meaning.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just like the circus. We got to enjoy the circus as a kid, and then we grow up and say it's not right how they treat the tigers and pull that experience away from anyone else. There's a rebellion coming, and Gen Z males are trending more conservative than any generation on record, basically. They even 11% drop in support of gay marriage over the past 3 years. And there's a higher percentage of millennials that actually support gay marriage compared to Gen Z. So just what the pendulum's swinging, and it's going to take some time. But women like that, they're the perfect example of this theory that Gen Z women have their heads up their ass. They're trending further left than any generation before, and that's the product of it. Just that's out of touch with reality.
But you do get a few of them that are starting to wake up, and my daughter is one of them because unfortunately she had a lot of friends that were in that freaking woke camp. So she got a lot of the indoctrination from her friends. And I kept telling her, I said, look, there's one thing that's certain about the left mentality, especially the extreme left. They will turn on each other. And eventually, unfortunately for her, that's what happened. Her friends had turned on her. And now her eyes are opened up, and she's starting to see all the bullshit for exactly what it is. Yeah. Now she's becoming more like how I was when I was a kid, and she's become almost a full-on anarchist at this point. And she don't trust anybody at all, none of them. And I was like, that is the right attitude to have.
Good. Yep.
This whole, like, with this woman in particular, it speaks to a larger issue, and that is the fact that we allow these young adults to stay kids until they're technically 26 years old now. They could be on their parents' insurance and all that, but they don't want to grow up because they don't see a point. Like, they want to decrease the 40-hour work week. We see what that did in Greece. Okay. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Now, I'm not saying go out and work your fingers to the bone your entire life and then die. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to earn money. This whole, capitalism is killing us, we need communism. That's not feasible. That's life is work. Exists. Life is work. Life is hard. Life is a struggle. It's never easy. unless you're one of those 1.1 percenters that's born with a silver spoon in their mouth and never has to do anything. I mean, I spent my 20s and most of my 30s working with my hands like a dog. You know, it's part of what you have to do. Yeah. I worked and I got where I am today, which I mean, I'm not fucking sitting down looking down at anybody, but I've achieved something. You know,
what? There's parallels. I think Etep with the getting into the workforce with wrestling, which you know very well. You've got to pay your dues before you can get into those positions where you can.
They don't want to pay their dues.
Yeah, you got to be able to learn things and have the experiences that are going to be able to get you into a place where you can get a good job and not have to kill yourself to get the kind of money that you want to be able to make.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go over. We'll go over to our next headline here, which is a little bit more light. Beverly Hills Cop. Axel Foley's ready to throw you back to the 80s. I'm very, very cautiously optimistic. What's up, Godzillionaire? I'm very cautiously optimistic about this because Beverly Hills Cop 3 was a fucking dumpster fire. Yeah. And that came out in like 95, I think it was. This is, I mean, ill-advised to me is the understatement of the year with this movie.
Well, you know what? But even part 3 is leaps and bounds better than a lot of the shit we're getting now, though.
Oh, absolutely. Well, absolutely.
I'm not optimistic because when I heard that Coming to America 2 was happening, I was excited. And then it turned out to be the wokest of woke cucking of a character I've seen in a long time.
I still haven't watched that one, CJP.
Me either.
I refuse to watch it.
Not
avoid it.
Watch it. Because it will completely taint your memory of the original.
I talked to, it was after it came out. I remember I was on a stream and I was talking to Jane Theory about that. And she said, she goes, for a character who was so dedicated to finding a wife, they sure turned him into somebody who was just a deadbeat, like typical, like stereotypical male in a movie. It was like, they did what to him? Like that was his goal. He could have had any woman he wanted in Zamunda, but he came here to find a queen. And I mean, I didn't take that character as a pump and dump and run kind of guy, Arsenio's character. Yeah.
In this still, Eddie Murphy's actually saying, imagine if George Floyd was the cop.
God damn.
All right, well, here's my biggest question for this, because he's been in a few things that weren't horrible. Like, what was the other one he did? Was that the Dolomite one that he did?
Yeah, Dolomite.
Yeah. That wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
that wasn't that bad. I think the biggest question here is who was actually in charge of this project.
I think wasn't Eddie running this?
I don't know.
Let's see. Judge Reinhold, Paul Reiser, Bronson Pinchot are coming back.
Wow.
Bruckheimer's producing.
Wasn't Taggart dead?
I don't know if that actor's. I don't think he'd be. I think he'd be too old, honestly, to come back.
Well, I mean, he could be in the Ronnie Cox position.
That's kind of what I was thinking if he was around. Mark Malloy is all about picking up with the character where the character is today. This is directed by Mark Malloy. Kevin Bacon is in this too. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it.
And what did this director? What are his other films?
I do not know what Mark Malloy has done otherwise.
That'll be very telling.
I don't know, Clone Geek. I think Jeff still needs to pay for Jesse Milestone. So,
did you say the director's name was
Mark Malloy? Molloy. God damn it, Tony.
He's Australian. Oh God, he looks like a soyed out freak.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
What has he done?
Let's see here.
Yeah, what else has he directed?
My Woke Foot.
My Woke Foot.
He has literally 4 previous credits.
Oh,
Apple
boy.
at Work, The Underdogs, Apple iPad Homework, The Lost Panda, and Shoulders of Giants is a Nissan commercial. These are all commercials.
Mm-hmm.
He has no film directing experience.
Yeah, I got zero hope for this movie.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
this
it
is
goes
gonna
right
be-
there.
Maybe this is going to be one long commercial of the first movie.
Manliness, is this opposed to Axel getting busted with them in the past?
Could it be possible we're going to see our first movie with ads in the film itself?
Oh no.
That'd be funny.
Assuming that Axel's going to get the banana in the tailpipe this time.
Uh-oh. Is Will Smith going to be his partner? And then is he going to be in the film?
Why are Will Smith and Dwayne Martin in this together? Oh.
Wow, this
Get your motherfucking dick out my motherfucking.
You need to keep my wife's mouth off of your.
And speaking of which, folks, today George Floyd was trending on Twitter, and that's mainly Supreme Court wouldn't hear Derek Chauvin's appeal on the murder conviction. That was one of the headlines that came out earlier.
Of course not, because they actually released the cause of death, and it was not from a choke or anything like that. The coroner said
What did we say a long time ago?
overdose.
What did we say over and over again? Here, I want you to take your hands on the back of your neck and choke yourself as hard as you can. And let me know when you feel like you're going to pass out. I'll be waiting a few years from now from your answer. But you know what? Here's the thing. Like I said before about this guy, the only thing that you could find him guilty of, and it wouldn't even be murder. It would be, oh God, it'd be a lesser degree. But it basically, he allowed him to die by not making sure that an ambulance got there to take care of him. Because they knew he was overdosing. That was the only thing they could beat those guys with.
Criminal negligence.
Yes, there you go.
I agree, but he still didn't get a fair trial.
Of course not.
No.
They had to make an example of him.
He was the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you remember Rick from the Geico commercials? The goat in the peanut butter factory? Yep.
Yeah. Yep, that's what Chauvin was.
Yeah, well, they were never going to overturn this conviction because they know what it would do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they would be, honestly, I'm at that point where it's like we should just do it because it's the right thing to do. Because it wasn't murder.
Yeah. Just stupidity.
But what? Yep. Is he guilty of shitty police work? Yeah. Are all the other officers
absolutely
that were there
conduct
too?
unbecoming? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's conduct unbecoming of an officer. Absolutely. And where would we be without this next man? And the only thing I can say about him on his 181st birthday is
what a stupid son of a bitch.
It's Pop's birthday today, and I found this tweet to be rather it was appropriate. Happy birthday, Mr. President. This is his accomplishments. Inflation's up, fuel prices are up, crime is way up, illegal immigration, test scores are down, the stock market's down, global security's down, spending's up. That seems pretty apropos to summarize his presidency in layman's terms.
You know what, Etep? As everybody knows, we're all feeling the pinch from how bad this economy is, and of course, I'm like no different than anybody else. I'm feeling it probably a little bit harder now because of all the damn pigs and all the prices of the guinea pig food, pet supplies going way up and everything. So I'm always like looking like, okay, like what else can I sell? Shit that I don't have to put online, so the IRS isn't like trying to freaking steal more money off me. So I'm looking at all like the silver and shit like that I acquired over the years when I actually had enough money to spend on that kind of shit. So I'm looking at the, to see where the prices are for all this shit. How the hell, when we're in a position where inflation is way up, prices are way up, like everything is going really bad right now, economy wise for us, yet silver prices are going down. How does that even happen? I've never heard of anything like that happen before. Like even gold has only had a very marginal increase. With how bad everything is, usually those prices go through the roof. Because the last time under Obama, when shit got really bad, gold and silver went through the roof. And if you had it to sell, you could earn yourself a pretty penny. Not this time around. It's almost like they're tanking that shit on purpose too.
Could it be because they're forcing the digital dollar?
That's a good possibility.
That's what my guess is. Oh, what was that, CJ?
So that's what I'm thinking. They're tanking it on purpose.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that the plebs don't have a way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
That's basically it. So, and in honor of Pop's birthday, I thought I'd play a short I did a little while ago here. So, copyright be damned. Here we go.
Always says this, which is watch him. And if you watch him, you'll see.
Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
How's the foot in the foot?
Is watch him. Is watch him.
Don't believe me, just watch.
And if you watch him, you'll see.
And if you watch him, you'll see.
Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
And if you watch him, you'll see.
Wait a minute.
The president.
So, happy birthday, Mr. President, you absolute fucking dolt. So that's the headlines for today, folks.
Now you're just being a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah. Why say that about me, man?
He's a rotting bag of oatmeal. He's somebody flushed this turd. It's disgusting. I'm huge. The true story. I'm a fantastic individual.
So at what point did they stop calling them Depends and start calling them Bidens?
That's we're on the cusp, Tommy.
You know when they do that, Tommy? It's when they find out that they don't work anymore. Then you can call them Bidens.
Well, do they work? Depends. That's why they're called that, because you don't know if they're going to work or not.
Right.
It's a crapshoot.
But we know Joe Biden doesn't work.
Well, he's got a vacation in Delaware.
Yeah, he broke records for the amount of vacations he's had.
Back where he grew up at home in the black church.
Corn pop.
Marched at Sohmer with Dr. King.
I was there, man. I was the second gunman on the great. No, Joe, don't say that. I wasn't. I mean. Oh my God! All right, we'll be right back with the main topic after these messages, folks, from WIRF Detroit.
WRIF, Detroit's home of rock and roll. Rocks you in your car, at work, at home. WRIF. It'll make you wanna.
KC, Ken Calvert with you on WRIF. Arthur Penhallow, commercial free on the home of rock and roll.
Ooh, you have a remarkable mouth.
WRIF is a remarkable radio station.
Baby.
I gotta dedicate a round to you, girl. Come on. Come on. Every time that I get up on the microphone, I gotta dedicate a round to you, girl. Come on.
Here we are, folks. We're over on Box Office. What's that?
I said that chick looked like Liv Morgan.
Oh, in the Riff commercial?
Yeah.
I know. I was like, she does. She looks familiar. I'm like, yeah, Liv Morgan. That's close. She might be her mom. But we're over here on Box Office Mojo, not because it's box office breakdown time. No, folks. We're looking right here at the number 4 on this list. The Marvels down from 1 to 4 with $10 million, a 78% drop.
Oh shit! 4th place on the second week.
I do believe that the great philosopher of the 20th century, Nelson Muntz, put this perfectly.
Yes, he did.
I tell you what, this is absolutely hilarious. I haven't seen something go down this fast in the last time Harley Quinn went down on me.
Not to mention that they still didn't update this properly. It's actually 87% as of last night. Yeah, Tina Bogan, she pulled up the proper numbers. It's 87%.
How hilarious is that bad take motion is just having an absolute laugh at this thing crashing and burning.
Oh, it's great.
When Tina does that,
than an intern in the White House in the 90s.
Yeah, this is greatness. It really is. All I gotta say to Disney, and I hate to use a Dark Side Phil quote here, but
oh well, you made your bed, now fucking sleep in it.
They made their bed. They went out and they hired them a black female director who has no superhero, no cape shit under her belt. I don't think she's ever done an action movie. She's never done a tentpole franchise. Nia DaCosta. And I laughed at the
Nia
copium
DaCosta
on
Disney a lot of money.
Yeah. Nia DaCosta them about $300 million fucking dollars by the time this is all said and done.
Was that the same Nia that destroyed Bill Burr's career? Oh wait, never mind.
No, that was just his whore wife.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That stupid bitch. How do you lose your fucking your net security? Flip the former president off in an arena of people that are chanting his fucking name when he walks in next to, who was it, Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson, like a fucking rock star. And
Dan Bongino.
The UFC.
Yeah. And like Tony said, in that conservative stronghold, New York City, but you're in a UFC event there. Some of the most fucking based motherfuckers. And yeah, he got a hero's welcome there. Much like pretty much everywhere else he fucking goes. So what up, RR?
What's up, man?
I tell you what, it really does show how desperate Disney is to try to make money too. Because if you look at that, you see that huge drop off that they have at 78.1. But then you look at Five Nights at Freddy, and it only had a 60% drop off, right? But look at the change in numbers in theaters on that one, a negative 865.
Yep.
Can I
go ahead, Tony?
Just real quick, I kind of in the ring, there's some of the most based motherfuckers, but in the audience at a UFC event, I mean, go down any city road and like half the bars are showing the UFC events. Like it's one of the quickest growing sports. I mean, look at where it's come since the 90s. It's mainstream, so a lot of those people in that audience are just normal motherfuckers, and that was their reaction to Donald Trump.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
It just says a lot, It's weird that, never. I won't get into it. At least on YouTube.
No, it is. We'll have that discussion on Rumble.
Yeah, I'd say it's very interesting, regardless.
Yeah.
Just the whole dynamic of what's going on. And like I said, I played, what's his name? Michael Rappaport. When you have a lunatic like that, who was like basically wishing death, who's now like, it's on the table. I'm vote for him over Poofy Pants. Like, come on. I think we all know what's going on right now.
See, Godzillionaire knows what Tony's doing. Tony's live from the theaters seeing trolls band together.
Well, I had to get my mind off of Republicans approving $4 billion to build a FBI facility larger than the Pentagon. So
they approved that. Of course they did.
Wow.
Yay, our side.
Right.
There is no our side.
Yeah.
So the Marvels 78% drop. The biggest drop in fucking MCU history. The worst. It still hasn't outgrossed domestically the Incredible Hulk.
Dude, you're talking about the biggest drop, but it's not even just the biggest drop. It's the amount of time that it dropped. How quickly it dropped. Like that is just holy crap.
Dude, Ant-Man didn't drop that quick.
Yeah,
it's the equivalency of somebody standing there just throwing shit on the screen and watching everybody run out of the
Oh yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this also confirm that everything we said was true? That the box office were padded for the first movie.
Yeah,
empty theaters.
Absolutely.
All the videos, all of the photos proving it.
Look at what this is now on a bigger scale, though. I mean, the implications of this now. Not only do you have this particular movie failing, which this movie didn't fail because of incels. This movie didn't fail because of misogyny. This movie didn't fail because of trolls, review bombing. If anything, the positive reviews for this movie are all boilerplate bot responses because they all are generic and they say the same fucking thing over and over and over, but they never want to talk about positive review bombing. It's only blaming the paying customers and over 60%, 65% of the audience for this movie was men. The women didn't want to fucking see it either. That's who, at its core, that's who the audience for these movies is fucking men. Yes, there's women that are in the comic books, but they're into the comic characters the way they were originally written. Dude, like, okay, so a lot of this shit, my wife is a normie. She can pick up on the woke shit now, which she couldn't before, but I pointed out. So but even her, she was like, she hated pretty much everything the MCU has put out, like outside of Guardians 3, which I even admittedly, I thought that was all right. But I mean, they lost Jonathan Majors now. He's gone. So they have to scrap that Kang. They had a whole fucking Avengers movie planned around him.
He is out
Kang's
completely.
dynasty. He's gone. Dude, they're not bringing him back.
That's great.
There's all these fucking reports. They're not bringing him back. He is not coming back. I would be fucking shocked if they brought him, especially with this. But look at that now. You had an Avengers movie planned around him, the Kang dynasty. That's fucking gone. That's gone. He was the next Thanos, big bad, which is hilarious considering how shitty and then everybody was blowing this guy after Loki, and he was in Quantum. He's so good. Oh, Jonathan, man. Oh, and now it's Jonathan who? Like, that shows how quick these motherfuckers will turn on you.
From Jonathan Jonathan Minor.
I got to give a shout out to Godzillionaire channel member for 19 months, brother. Thank you so much. To be fair, the Trolls movie helped tank the Marvels. That's fucking, imagine how funny that's. The Trolls movie helped tank a tentpole Marvel fucking movie. You know what I mean?
There's so much great irony in that. It's these trolls. These trolls ruined the movie. They literally did now.
Oh god, it was so much fun watching them melt down on Twitter about this one.
Yeah,
like we got no support against the misogynist, blah blah blah. Guess what? Women didn't go to watch this either. So
was that nerd-erotic?
He was the one that went to see it 5 times.
Why does this troll have track marks and cocaine all around his nose?
But this is right here. This is what I'm talking about. Cosmic Mars. This is copium at its peak. Nia DaCosta's The Marvels grossed over $110 million during its worldwide box office opening weekend, the highest grossing theatrical release of all time by a black woman director. Why is that an accomplishment? That's what I said. That doesn't make a success. You aren't taking into account this movie stands to lose upwards of $300 million. But please tell us more about how the lowest grossing movie with the highest second week drop is such a victory just because the director is black. And you tell me where the fucking lie is. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
It just reminds me of the glass ceiling shit that they pulled with freaking Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, it's the first woman-led MCU movie. No, it wasn't. Elektra was. I mean, okay, it wasn't MCU, but it was the first Marvel film that was cast as a female lead. So,
what up, JB? Thank you for being a channel member for 8 months. I've lost interest in Marvel, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Yeah.
I'm just apathetic at this point. I just don't care. It doesn't move the needle either way for me.
No, and like I said, the only reason we're talking about it tonight is because it's a fucking huge deal. The continued failure of something. They spent $300 million on this movie. Has to make $600 million just to fucking break even. I mean,
the last report I saw was almost like $750 million.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. So they're at 161,502,000 worldwide. I mean, you still haven't surpassed the Hulk's open. I mean, this is fucking. It's sad. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's sad on one hand because at one time this franchise was fucking awesome. It was something that we could all enjoy, and now And when even Grace, Grace, I wish I would have clipped that Grace Randolph, where she's like, and now some people call it the MCU, which is very offensive, but it's true. It's like, why is it offensive, you stupid fucking lol cow? It's the truth. They fucking, and she's even like, they put too many females, and it's like, we said that fucking 3 years ago and you called us misogynist, and now you're even saying it, but you're so, it's offensive, but it's still shit. Okay, fucking shill.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Well, they're psychotic, these people, and that's how the left are. They're always going to be like that. Flip-flop, wishy-washy, hypocritical. Yeah. We all know this.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's ridiculous, man. So yeah, to see this thing just fucking fall like this is great, because they have nowhere to fucking go now. They've painted themselves into a corner. You've got Blade that's never gonna fucking happen.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care what they say. That's never gonna happen.
It's gonna focus, like I think they said, like on 3 or 4 different women, and the main focus is his daughter. So this is him coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you already made him a second banana in his first film. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was some report today that possibly they're going to make Silver Surfer a woman. I'm like,
what?
Oh, yeah, I seen that article just before I jumped into the green room, CJP, and I just laughed because you know what? I find it hysterical. I'm like, at this point, I want them to throw every stupid freaking thing that they possibly can into these movies just to watch it all crash and burn. I am having the time of my life right now.
I know it's just a rumor, but they had Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, which is fucking hilarious. Oh my God.
Oh, it's like, was it a rumor or was it official?
I don't know if that's official.
Rumor. It's true that he is read for it, but they haven't actually cast him yet.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But I mean,
well, he's going to need something to do after Abby smashes his head in the last of his second season. He's not going to be in the next season of The Mandalorian. We already know that, so he's needing some work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Hanscock wrote that story like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Godzillionaire says, "Well, wait, hang on. Let's go back up here." Glinzer says the new MCU Marvel Cinematic underperformers. Yep. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
I keep seeing Blue Beetle, like just the little thumbnail or whatever on HBO Max, and it looks so pathetic. And yeah, back to what I was saying earlier this year. I mean, before Critical Drinker, by the way, except, after Critical Drinker said it, you get called a genius before you get called an idiot. We're in the phase transition right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving from the comic book movie era to the video game movie era. And Five Nights at Freddy's, the Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, it was proven time and time again this year. And now they're finally announcing the Zelda movie. And it's not superhero fatigue as much as it's just natural progression, as much as it's, they're casting villains and putting them in superhero suits, and nobody's interested in that. Yeah, and let's just face it, the MCU was Robert Downey Jr., and it was his great comeback story, and that's over now. And they may bring him back, but that's a short-term pop, like Tobey Maguire.
The funny thing about that is, like, Iron Man was never that big of a character to begin with, but the way that they did it with Robert Downey Jr., it made people excited for that character.
Yeah,
it did. But it's like Tony said, that was his comeback, and everyone wanted to see that guy succeed because he was really talented. But on top of that, you're right, it's over. I don't even think it's going to get a pop for him to come back. I think it's literally going to be like it's going to be a joke, and it's going to feel sad.
Probably. And can I just point out too, like I said, the entire MCU was Robert Downey Jr. and the momentum he created. The people running this shit didn't even want him to play the role, which shows how much they know. Like, that was Favreau who fought for Robert Downey Jr. And again, it was a comeback story, and Americans love a comeback story. And now nobody, they keep casting all these Hollywood A-listers, B-listers, whatever, and none of them can walk in his shoes. but like Vinny said, his arc is over. So to bring him back, and especially after the vegan pictures came out.
Well, Tony, there's one thing I want to point out when you're talking about these video game movies that are coming out. So the major difference between there, where all these Marvel things are not being made for the fans anymore, those absolutely were. Like, and I talked about this on a stream before, where I had to get a hold of my daughter because I know about Five Nights at Freddy, but I don't know that much about it. So I talked to my daughter and her friend who play those games. They know about the lore and everything like that. And I was explained how there's a whole bunch of stuff in the Five Nights at Freddy movie that unless you were a fan of the game and all the lore that went along with the game, you would never catch it because there's all of these little Easter eggs in there. And it's 100% a love letter first to the fans of the game. And that's the difference. When you have people in there that give a shit about the franchise that they're working on, you can get a good product. I mean, we've seen the same thing with Cobra Kai, and there was a few other shows where they actually, it was love letters to the fan. Like even that really bad ending for it though, but the Siege War for Cybertron they did on Netflix, they put so many things in there from both the cartoons, the comics, and everything like that, that if you were a fan of those franchises for the longest and you knew about all that stuff, you got all the things that they were hinting on when they did that show. The only one that really dropped off the freaking face of the earth on that one was the last one, which was Earthrise. But once again, that was a love letter to the fans. Like, do you remember this from the comics? Do you remember this from the movie? You know, the 86 movie? Yeah. So, I mean, that's what they need. They need more people that are passionate about this shit.
And I read an interview with Matthew Lillard about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and he said flat out, this movie's not made for everyone. This was made for people who played the game and loved the lore.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. I was saying in one of the chats a few days ago, any movie based off a franchise, whether it be video games, comic books, or whatever, should be a love letter to the fan. There's no such thing as too much fan service. And like Tommy was saying, you know, when you stop writing these movies for the fans, you know, it's the critics saying too much fan service. Well, we see the movies that are directed your way, what you consider a good movie, and it's crap. It's a 2-hour waste of time. Like, that's how all of the, you know, that's what Super Mario Brothers was. Exactly what Tommy explained about Five Nights at Freddy's. Exactly what CJP mentioned about Matthew Lillard. You know, these need to be made for the fans, because if not, it's fucking pointless. And we've seen Hollywood screw up countless video game movies, countless comic book movies, trying to put their own spin on it. Don't.
Yep. You got studios that always do this shit. Look at Avi Arad. He started to really tank all that stuff with the original Tobey Maguire movies. Why? Because we have to show his face. We have to do this. We have to do that. No, it doesn't say anywhere you have to do that stuff. And when you overexpose like that, you're going to hurt the character, which it did. I couldn't count the number of reviews I used to read. It's like, why is Tobey Maguire always taking his mask off everywhere he goes? You know, he lands on top of a building, he takes his mask off. Well, there's people with cameras and camera phones and all this kind of shit. It's like, none of it makes sense, because we need to show the actor's face. They have their own certain rules and shit that they want to go by. And that's what these studios are always going to be like. They're never going to do things properly. But the ones who do, the ones that, like Tommy and Tony said, they did it right. Friday Night, the Five Nights at Freddy's, Mario. You know, it's everything that those games had and more. You wanted to see them come to life. You want to see that world come to life, and they did it. They did it in a proper way.
Even Sonic. You know, we can always point back to that original Sonic design, and the fans were shocked, to say the least. And the director went in and like blew the rest of their budget or whatever on fucking redesigning Sonic to make the fans happy. You know, like that's what it's all about.
And what they thought was going to be a loss at first wound up becoming a love letter from the fans back to them for putting the time in there to give them what they expected to see.
Yep.
See, I never played Five Nights at Freddy's. The only reason I was aware of what it was about was because my kid watches the gameplay on YouTube. So I went in knowing nothing about really the story overall than what he told me, but I still enjoyed the movie. I was like,
Yes.
okay, you know, I just kind of went along with what was happening, you know. I mean, having a little bit of basic knowledge about the animatronics and stuff, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie, you know what I mean? It hits a few jump scares. Matthew Lillard, I didn't even recognize him at first. I thought he was good.
Well, you know what was a good sign for this movie. So when I talked to my daughter and her friend is like the big Five Nights at Freddy, expert, I guess, so to speak. So she was telling me, like, out of everything they did in this movie, they only had one thing that they screwed up, and it has to do with a name of somebody that's associated with the business, who's not even supposed to be alive at that point. He's not supposed to come until much later on in the lore. She said that was the only thing that they screwed up. That's pretty good when you only make one faux pas in a movie like that.
Yeah.
In a franchise, there's only one small screw up as far as the timeline. Characters mentioned. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. I was laughing before I saw Godzilla's comment, which is spot on.
Well, I mean, for me, I don't know the lore that much either. I mean, other than what the girls have told me. But, for me, it was just like, okay, I can just set this as, this is Chuck E. Cheese gone wrong in my mind.
Right.
So I still have a frame of reference because of that. But, again, like I said, Matthew Lillard really knew what he was talking about. He's like, this is just a love letter to the fans. This is what we're setting out to do. We're not here to pander to everybody.
That's the way that we should be.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And well, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just gonna say it's weird how we've come full circle. Like they've decided to make video games based off of Chuck E. Cheese when Chuck E. Cheese was created from dude from Atari.
Yeah, Nolan Bushnell.
Yeah,
because I'm old enough to remember when it was Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah,
I forget how old that Five Nights at Freddy franchise is, but yeah, I mean, I remember my daughter talking about when she still lived down here in Florida before she moved back up to PA.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's crazy. It's a popular fucking franchise, so I'm happy. The movie turned out well. Seem people seem to like the movie, so I don't. It did well financially. I'm happy for him. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Oh yeah. What up, Parrot Hat?
That's just, we need more, not even just specifically about franchises or IPs and video games and like that. We just need a bunch of good, low budget movies. Not like badly low budget, but just not every single movie needs to be $300 million budgets.
No.
That's again what I loved about the 80s is and the 90s is we had a ton of movies that weren't financial juggernauts. They were, $5, $10, $15 million movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it came down to good writing, good acting. There was skill involved. They don't do that anymore.
No.
Speaking on the computer.
Speaking of that, I got another review coming out here. I just watched The Road Warrior for the first time in I don't know how long.
Oh, jeez.
Such a good movie.
The wife even liked that. She was like, that was actually pretty good. I'm like, nice. I'm like, if you put Mel Gibson's rampant anti-Semitism to the side, he's a really good actor. No, it was a fun movie. But I'm gonna have.
But you know what? Even the first one, the original, just Mad Max, even that was a pretty fun movie.
That's the nice thing though about Road Warrior. You don't even need to see Mad Max because I don't really remember much of anything from either of those two. Because, like I said, it's been fucking decades since I've seen either of them, and I was like, "Man, this is just as fun as I remember," But before we're at 56 minutes, I think it's time to slip into something. We're gonna slip into some box. You guys want to slip into some box?
Always.
Well, go ahead, Tony.
Just before we do, I want to, Godzillionaire says on a rooftop somewhere, Chris Fisk is screaming that Mario is feminist propaganda. Godzillionaire, rooftop Koreans are nothing to joke about.
Real quick, Etep. So there's a good story attached to the Road Warrior and everything. So the dog that he uses in that he has with him. So you know that they had picked that dog up from an animal shelter, right?
I didn't. That's awesome.
Yeah, so they picked the dog up from an animal shelter, and when the movie was over, one of the crew members took that dog home and gave him a permanent home.
That's fucking dope, man. That okay, so I will say one thing. That right there was like probably the most difficult death in the movie was when the puppers caught the fucking arrow. I was like, do not kill that dog. Do not. As soon as that dog got up on the rock, I was like, he's gonna shoot that fucking dog. I was like, God damn it, he's gonna shoot. He shot the fucking dog. Son of a bitch. Yeah, that was not easy to get through. But what is easy to get through is this right here.
TV 20, WXON, Detroit.
Now it's time for what's in the box.
Put the gun down.
I saw you in the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life. Put the gun down, David. It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
I have a box right here that I've blacked everything. I've blacked all the information out on. So if my dumbass flips it the wrong way, it's fine. But Tommy sent me this.
Why you gotta black it out? You can white it out.
Well, if I whited it up. No, I wanted to black it out. I wanted it to be it's Thanksgiving week. We're getting ready for Blick Friday. I figured
it's not like I would be concerned if somebody showed up at my door.
Regular Friday, yay!
It's like, is that an invitation or a threat? Oh, it's an invitation. It's an invitation. So let's open this box up here, and we'll see what we have. If I don't chop my fucking hand off first. But yeah. So Tommy sent me this. Like I said, I got it last week. I've been waiting. We've been waiting here. I'm gonna embiggen myself here if I can find my fucking cursor. There it is.
Please not. No, we don't need a tubing on stream.
I'm not going tubing. I'm sporting my my Stevie the captain, number 19, Stevie Yzerman Red Wings jersey tonight. It's not quite Gordie Howe from Ferris Bueller, but
I have that one.
Nice. Here we have a beautiful. I'm gonna set the box down.
No cut to the jugular.
No. We'll do that. We have a beautiful his tank right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love these. I love the blue ones. I have one of the Blicks, and I have a whole. Let's see, we have a whole bunch of the blues now. I got another one back here. Yeah, I'll get up for a second here. Let's see. I got another one back here on the shelf that's still in the. Oh my God, you saw behind the curtain. We got two of these in the box now. Let's see. We got let's 6, 7. We got 9. We got 9 of these now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when I went back, Etep, it was literally the last one they had when I grabbed the second one for you.
Yeah. So we got 9 total. We got to unbox. We'll unbox these, and I got to put all the stickers on them. Yeah, we've got a fleet of his tanks now. And I saw Jeff's last toy video. He was at Ollie's, and these are great. I love how they still do the cards. The boxes, and I've got old GI, and this is a nice teaser because on December 4th, I'm going to call what our main topic is going to be right now, folks. On December 4th, we're going to do a special show. We're going to have a very special guest. Slasher McSplitter will be joining us, and we're going to have a GI Joe centric episode. So I know Tommy and Vinny will want to be on hand for that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make me dig out a whole bunch of Joe stuff.
Yeah, because not only are we gonna be talking about the G.I. Joe toys, but we're gonna be talking about the series, the animated movie.
Hell
yeah. The movies, the live action movies.
I did not see them.
I haven't either. I'm gonna watch them.
I watched the first one of the live action movies, and that was enough for me.
I've never seen either of them.
Same here. Like when I heard they're killing Duke off in the second one, and The Rock was taking over, I'm like, "There's no need for me to see this."
Well, was Channing Tatum Duke?
Yeah.
And The Rock is who is Rock?
Yeah, who was he in that? I didn't see.
I don't know. Dookie.
Because is Mark? He's not. Is he Roadblock?
Jesus, I can't even remember who he was.
Did he talk and run?
Wait, are those Hiss drivers trans? We need representation. God damn it.
I think his character just worked for the World Economic Forum. They had to kill the white guy off.
Oh, on the Monday night, we do the G.I. Joe episode, which is Monday, December 4th. That intro will probably lead the show in that night. The entire animated intro. I don't fucking care about copyright.
You know
Why
what?
do I care?
I have a bunch of clips of G.I. Joe stuff that I could send you, Etep. Like maybe you can use some of it.
Absolutely. I do have a tank battalion now. I'm gonna keep buying these things.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, if I ever go back to another Ollie and I find any more of those.
Yeah,
unfortunately, all they seem to have was the blue ones. Because if I would have seen a black Hiss tank, I would have snagged it up without even asking you. Just like I did with this last blue one. I just assumed you would want it.
Yeah, if you ever see one of the, because I've only seen one of the black ones and I grabbed it. And when I went and bought like 4 or 5 of them, they only had the blue ones. They had 8. My wife's like, you bought 5. You don't need all 8 of them. I'm like, yes, I do.
Don't you tell me how to play with my toys.
You don't understand. Right? It's sitting in the store and it's lonely.
Right? I was like, you can't just buy 5. You got to buy all of them. You got to buy all the Hiss tanks.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happens when I never had any as a kid. I was like, I'm an adult now. I can buy them. It's like, I got to stop buying Hiss tanks. I got to buy a new camera. But
well, God help you if they ever release the freaking flag.
I went to that Tony. What's that toy store out there we went to?
I'll have to look it up real quick. It's something basic, but I always forget the fucking name. It's owned by one of the guys on Pawn Stars, though.
But they had a flag in the box in there, and it was $4,500. $4,500. He's like, I can ship it across country. He goes, where do you live? I'm like, Michigan. He goes, oh yeah, no problem. I'm like, what is it?
Toy Shack.
It was yeah, it's such a basic name, but dude, I didn't buy anything for myself there. I bought Trey stuff, but like I didn't buy myself anything. And I'm like, but that flag, man, I'm like, it was in the original box and everything, dude. It's like complete, like 100% complete. I'm like, I was like, I look at the wife. I'm like, what if I sell my car, like my old car? She's like, no. Would you really do that? I'm like, yes. I'm like, I could.
So Brutal looked it up and he said, yeah, he was Roadblock.
Yeah, that's a Godzilla. Oh, he was Roadblick.
Mm-hmm.
But Brutal says he likes Roadblick better. Yeah, see,
Roadblick.
Yeah, Slasher. I'm looking. That's gonna be a very fun night.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch what is the Snake Eyes movie with the homeboy. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, it looks completely uninteresting. But I tell you what, my brother was huge into G.I. Joe when he was younger. 11-year difference, but he was still huge into that stuff too. The figures that they made for the movie still look really nice, though. I mean, I personally don't even want to watch the movie, but the figures that they did for it, they looked incredible.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of those figures are actually still available on Ollie's. A few of them.
Yeah, I reviewed them. I think the Scarlet from that movie is better than the regular classified one, in my opinion. Like the costumes.
I don't like the Baroness one though.
Baroness, like the body's pretty good. You could swap the heads out, but you might have to use some like blue tack or something.
And especially in their own home.
But it's not bad. The body's pretty good. I like the posability and it's a good sculpt. But Snake Eyes, he looked great. You just got to throw away the Asian head. You're good.
Yeah. He's not Asian.
He's not.
Manliness. Leslie Jones should play Roadblock.
Right. She's just a block.
I'm a G.I. Joe, motherfucker.
So there's one other thing that we can kind of.
Where are the white women at?
we were mentioning toys just a little bit right here, and I love talking about toys. Bread and butter. It's a beautiful thing. So Tony was saying we're kind of like the pendulum swinging with a lot of different stuff, and I'm actually seeing it in the toy house. So they started releasing these 97 Marvel figures, for like X-Men and stuff like that, and they were doing Spider-Man and a bunch of other like Avengers and everything like that. I seen they just released more 97 ones, so I did a short on the 6-inch figures that they're doing, and they look absolutely fantastic, like Magneto, Gambit, and Wolverine, and all these. Well, they're also releasing for the smaller figures. They're releasing, they've released like the X-Jet. They're doing like a big pack with all the smaller figures. So you get Storm, you get Rogue, you get Gambit, you get Wolverine, you get Cyclops. And they're really starting to lean heavily into it. And I was like, holy shit, man, we're really starting to see a resurgence of the stuff that actually made these franchises great again. Like, are these people finally waking up and paying attention and tired of losing money? I sure hope so, but it looks that way from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I was very tempted with some of those because they do look good. That 97 ones, holy shit, they look great.
Well, folks, I'd love to keep talking about toys, but we've been going for an hour and 8 minutes now here, gang. YouTube, guys, if you're watching us here, come on over. Follow us to Rumble. I'm going to post the link in the chat one more time. There you go, right there. And
ready to rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, you in the chat are the only ones that can actually keep the fun alive by following us over to Rumble, where we're going to let loose and talk about some wild and wacky stuff.
Oh, shit we can't talk about here on YouTube, but I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you to my channel members. You guys are fucking amazing. We got more channel members content coming. We'll have a stream this Thursday. We'll do the Tales from the Crypt commentaries on Thursday afternoon for you live again. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Everybody's links are in the descriptions. Mark it on your calendars. December 4th, we're going to be doing a G.I. Joe centered episode of Going In Raw. And next, is it next Tuesday, Tommy?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday night. We're going to take the night off from doing wrestling, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to announce the pay-per-view tomorrow morning for tomorrow. But next Tuesday, Tommy, tell them what we got going on.
No, next Tuesday, we're going to be leaning back. We're coming back with a special presentation of Going Old School. This one is going to be dedicated to my late buddy, JJ Sith Lord. Some of you may have remembered. I wanted to do this last year, didn't have the opportunity, but we're going to lean in with a very, very heavy-centric Star Wars Going Old School. We're going to be talking about the old movies, the shit that mattered. We're going to be talking about old toys and showing off stuff that we have from our collection and having a good time reminiscing about what that made that franchise great. And we're just going to completely avoid all the new shit talk because I can't ignore that shit from Disney. But we're going to have fun, man. We're going to break out the old school stuff. I'm going to be digging in crates, and I know Etep has got a ton of shit to show off as well. We've seen it many times, and we are just going to have a blast talking about the shit that was fun about that franchise.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah! I'm looking forward to it, man. There's nothing better, and I picked up some new pieces, some new old pieces. So some stuff that's works in progress. So yeah, thank you everybody. We're looking forward to that. Be sure to tune in to CJ's show on Thursday, Vinny's on Friday and Sunday, and Trina's on Wednesday, ours on Wednesday. Oh wait, Thursday's Thanksgiving, gang. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm on Tuesday this week.
Okay, CJ's on Tuesday.
Blackish Watch Party, CJP's channel this Thursday.
No, I don't think I will.
I wanna leave you guys on YouTube with this. I use a lot of these old school Detroit, Bay City, Flint TV commercials for transitions, but this is a clip from, I think it's the late 80s, early 90s, talking about the state of affairs in our government. I'm going to leave you guys on YouTube with this. So thank you everybody for joining us. Rumble, you guys will get this clip too, and we will see you on the other side of it. YouTube, thank you. I'm Etep and from the Place to Be Reviews. We've been here with all you. If we don't see you, have a great day, pleasant tomorrow. We will catch you on the next one.
We've heard an awful lot about the energy crisis we have, and I have always believed that optimism and hope were the twin fuels that made this democracy run right. For as long as I can remember, Americans have always been kind of an optimistic people. and a hopeful people, a pretty happy nation, and glad to be the way we are. This may be the last television news that I ever get to anchor, so I'm going to take a shot at one little commentary here. Like you, I love America, love being an American, but you know something? More and more frequently, I don't trust my government. I don't believe what some of our elected leaders are telling us from time to time. This country and this America we so love, and the rest of the world so desperately needs, is indeed in deep, deep crisis. And if we're going to successfully maneuver our way through these nightmares, I think we're going to have to play a little hardball with these two political parties of ours and the people who control them. We've got to find a way to tell these Democrats, these Republicans, these liberals, and these conservatives, hey, look, guys and gals, before you were a Republican, before you were a Democrat or a liberal or a conservative, you were first an American. I believe there are a lot of Americans who are now convinced that you kind of have forgotten that. I think a lot of Americans believe that maybe you're just more loyal to your parties than you are to your country and your fellow citizens. And maybe, just maybe, the change we really need this election is to somehow dump these two parties and form a new one. Because whatever it is you guys and gals are doing, it ain't working anymore. And that's kind of scary. Try to imagine what the world would be like Friday morning if we all woke up and there was no America. Now, I know somebody at home is saying, come on, Billy, this is America. That can't happen. Can't happen? What happened to the Detroit that was the industrial center and with a world population of 1.7 million people? And where have all the car companies gone? Think about this. If you don't change, you don't adjust, you go bye-bye. Talk that over with the next dinosaur you see driving a Nash, a Hudson, or a Packard automobile. Of course, you can't do that.